All right, welcome everybody to the F1 Passport. We are the F1 brothers. The first thing I got is just the season in general. You know, I heard somebody say that if the season is shortened and Lewis wins the championship, should we put an asterisk by it? You know,
Yeah.
people hating already.
Yeah. Things that haters say.
Right. And I forget the pundit that replied. I think it was one of the Sky Sports.
Yeah, it might have been Martin Brundle.
I think it was actually.
Yeah.
Essentially said that, you know, any competition where it's equal playing field, whoever wins, especially in the F1 season, no matter how many races, it deserves to win. You know, it deserves to be considered champion. Back in the day, they only had 10 races per season in some seasons.
Right.
So he put
Yeah.
that.
What did you? Yeah. So that just I don't even know if that's even worth mentioning. Like anybody who wants to have that debate, sipping on that haterade. So I pay no attention to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that whole discussion about like the reverse grid and all that stuff?
I don't like reverse grids, man. I don't even like that idea. I mean, that number one, only thing that's going to happen are the top teams are not going to qualify 1 and 2. You know, they're going to try and qualify as low as possible.
Or those marginal top teams, right? Like,
no, I'm saying Mercedes and Red Bull would not want to qualify first and second. You know, they'll want to qualify low so they can start as far up the field as possible.
I thought they were going to do it based on, so you do one race the 1 week, who win, and it's based on the results of the race. So let's say Mercedes finished first, then the next race they start last. But the situation is like Ferrari, you know, they crashed out. So then automatically they would have been at the front of the grid for the second race.
Yeah. There's just too many variables.
Yeah. And then you just setting up an atmosphere where people are just going to be running into each other, costing more money because they're going to tear up their freaking cars. Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare.
Or you've got customer teams, you know, who will be further up the grid. You got Haas, for example. You know, when a Merc comes up behind it, they're damn sure not going to let them pass, or they're going to clip them and crash them, you know, on their way by. So it's just it's too many possibilities for shady behavior. And Lord knows Formula One teams will take advantage of any situation.
True.
What do you think about the Renault's protest against Racing Point?
They're sipping on that same haterade, man. It's like why wouldn't you copy the best car? Like the fact that Ferrari hasn't copied Mercedes. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're clearly not getting it right. Why not go with the proven, you know, example? Like, why not? I don't get it.
But no, Peter Windsor has been talking about having customer cars in Formula One for a long time.
The problem with having it like that, or what?
No, he was saying it's a good idea, essentially for, you know, instead of Mercedes and Ferrari selling engines to other team, they can just sell their last year's car.
Oh, okay.
Just sell the whole car to another team. That would get everyone up the grid, you know, but it would defy the whole constructors paradigm history. You know,
no, if they did it, if they legitimately just went off of photos or whatever, then you know, more power to them. Like that's smart business as far as I'm concerned. And it takes I would assume it takes an amount of creativity to be able to look at a freaking picture and design your car based off of that too. So
right.
Everybody copied the high rake from Red Bull over the years. Everybody copies the front wings and the floorboards and all that stuff. So it's fair game.
So I've seen pictures of the specific protest was against the brake drum because they couldn't just say the whole car. They had to pick something. So I've heard it said where the brake drum is one of the most complicated pieces of technology on the car.
Yeah, ask Haas about that.
Right. For real.
Idiots.
So, you know that damn piece of scrap engine they got in the back. it's just compounded their sorry car plus their sorry drivers. But anyway, they showed a picture of the outside of the Merc and the Racing Point, and they look identical. But it would be nearly impossible for the inside of that to also be identical. You know, they can copy the outside aerodynamics, you know, the way stuff looks on the outside. But in order to have everything on the inside look exact, that would be, you know, some signs that some information was either given or stolen.
Schematage.
Right. So we'll see. Haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got?
You want to talk about about Valtteri and some of our theories that they may be trying to set it up for him?
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think is happening?
I don't think there's any schematage, right? I don't think there's anything sinister going on in the background. I think Bottas is really good at copying Lewis's driving style. And I think he's got certain tracks that he's good at, and he can get on top of Lewis at those tracks. And this is one of them, right? Austria is one of them. He out qualified Lewis in Hungary last year also, but yeah. Lewis went on to win the race. I think the team they don't use team orders in those situations because they know Lewis has got him covered. They know even if Valtteri wins a race, he's not going to be able to win over the season, and so they don't worry about it. And even to an extent, Lewis doesn't worry about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm thinking, you know, Valtteri was going after that Renault seat hard. Okay.
Was he?
Yeah. He was going for that seat. It was between Bottas, Vettel, and Fernando, or as the McLaren team boss would say, Fernando. Fernando. I hate the way he says it.
That sounds like American way. Is that Zach Brown says it like that?
Yeah, Zach Brown. We are Americans.
Exactly.
But yeah, he was going after that seat hard. Didn't get it. So, I think that Russell, especially with his drive in the rain the other day, you know, in qualifying, he's solidified that seat. Mercedes has to pick him up. They have to, or else they don't.
They slurp everything this guy does, like Russell. Like, okay, I got to see him in a top car to believe it. I'm sorry. I just everybody's slurping him. Oh, he went around the track. Did you see the way he went around the track? Well, everybody went around the damn track. I'm missing the point here.
Same way they do Giovinazzi.
So what?
Same thing. Same way they do Giovinazzi, man. If he just keeps it on the island.
Well, that's because he's so bad. Anytime he does make it around the track, that is something to applaud. I'm not taking anything away from Russell. I just want to see him do it in a competitive car, and I'm anxious to see it. And it's good that Mercedes have that type of young driver available to dig into, see what he can do. Because your boy Ocon, what used to be my boy, he started to piss me off. You know, you don't have to put your elbows out every freaking opportunity you get just for the sake of putting your elbows out. And you know, Ricardo's my guy, so you putting your elbows out on Ricardo for no reason, hurting the team, that just pisses me off.
Right. Yeah. He needs to pick up his pace. Quick light.
He was doing pretty good. He did good in the rain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't do too bad. He's not qualifying very well, you know. Speaking of which, well, another thing that has me concerned about Lewis, this whole BLM thing, is him going after Bernie Ecclestone. Okay.
But Bernie says some ignorant shit though.
Yeah, but Bernie's is a powerful dude. Bernie can have somebody in that garage loosening up a screw.
All right, you still got his tentacles run deep.
His tentacles run deep.
Yeah.
This dude's still making babies at 89 years old. Okay. This dude's still putting in work.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned about that. I wouldn't mess with him, you know. So, what about your boy Seb, man? Feeling sorry for him?
You know, in a way I am, in a way I'm not. Like, it's sad, man. It's sad to see this dude, his fall from grace. And it's miraculous how far he's fallen and how bad he drives now. Like, it's just incredible. You don't see Leclerc spinning the car out every time somebody brushes up against him. I mean, it doesn't excuse, you know, Leclerc jumping in the air and taking his freaking rear wing out. But yeah, it's sad. It's sad. He took that Ferrari move like it was going to be his dream, you know, opportunity. And now it's basically knocked him out the sport.
Yeah.
Nobody will take him.
The most telling thing for me is when they asked him about the spin. And his response was, well, I'm just happy that it only spun once. You know?
Yeah, but that's an excuse. He's trying to blame it on the car, make it seem like the car is that bad. But that's my point. You don't see Leclerc spin.
Leclerc didn't spin, even though Leclerc is on my shit list now. He's on my list of one of the 6.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it really – I've had my issues with Vettel. I think, you know, back when he was winning all the championships, I got tired of seeing that damn finger. I got tired of the yes, 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 and yes again crap whenever he won a race. You know, I found that annoying. I was trying real hard not to be hating on him just because he's winning the way people are hating on Lewis just because he's winning. But seeing him at the press conferences, you know, essentially talking nice about Red Bull when he knows they're not going to pick him up.
They might. They might. They may not have a choice.
And see, that's a point I'm going to get to. Anything could be possible. I don't think he's going to be – I think he's going to be on the grid next season, quite frankly. There's a whole lot of shit going to happen between now and the end of the season. But that to me just – that's the – it looks like a driver begging, you know, when they're saying nice things about – at the Racing Point, you know, he's saying, yeah, I've got good friends there, and I know a lot of people there. That's a driver's way of asking for a job.
Campaigning for a seat.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like we said, I mean, ex-champion that spins. Why wouldn't you replace a former champion that spins with someone who hasn't done anything yet spins? You know, Giovinazzi and what's his name, Grosjean, prime examples.
Yeah, those dudes need to be out of the sport.
Oh, and Seb's the press conference that Seb requested with Martin Brundle. You heard about that?
No, I didn't hear about that.
So it came out before the second Austrian race that.
And he was saying that they thought he was going to be announcing his retirement.
Yeah. And when that first came out, you know, my thought was, wow, yeah, that might actually be true. But Seb kind of cleared that up and said that you know, there's no print press available around, so we have to go directly to the video or media folks. In order to get our statements out there. So, Q3 that Lewis's Q3 lap qualifying. Anything else needs to be said about that? Is that proof of greatness, or is that just
total domination? That's all you can say about it.
So you know your boy Jack Villeneuve?
Yeah.
I'm American. I hate saying his dog name. Jack Villeneuve came out and said that essentially he did so well because the car is better.
Okay. So where was Bottas now?
Right. Right. So, I mean, my point is the first race, Lewis qualified, second before they knocked him down to fifth
Hmm.
in the dry, right? And you bring those same cars to the same track the next weekend, and in the dry in practice, he's still not doing all that good. You add rain, and he's all of a sudden 1.2 seconds faster than everybody in the damn field. If you can't recognize that, then you just, instead of drinking the rich energy, you drinking some straight up haterade.
Yeah, that goes in the category of things that aren't even really worth discussing because it's just ignorance at that point.
Right. All right, man. Say what?
No, go ahead.
Finally, the BLM, man, Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
How you feel about it?
I think Lewis is brave. I give him credit for that, for being brave and speaking his mind. It seems like he's been wanting to do this or express himself for a long time. And now the shackles have been taken off, no pun intended. And he's just speaking whatever's on his mind. So I give him credit for it. It's not easy. There's a certain amount of fear. When I talk to people about this subject, there's a certain amount of fear that goes with speaking your mind, as a Black person or as, any minority. Because, there's fear that you lose your job, there's fear that you lose friends, you lose your reputation, you lose all this stuff. So when you're so confident in your position, your abilities, and just where you are in life that you can speak out on how you feel, and then kudos to you for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
But you don't go too far, like our guy for the wide receiver for the Eagles, who's just spewing out complete and total ignorance.
Sean Jackson.
Speak how you feel, speak on your perspective. But when you go to the other extreme, there's no place for that. I don't care
Right.
who you are.
Right. So yeah, I agree completely. And heck, we're a little hesitant to talk about it, for all the reasons that you mentioned. But for me, it's just at the end of the day, right? What it all boils down to is, are you willing to take the knee in opposition to someone taking a knee on someone's on a man in handcuffs neck, right? To the point where when George Floyd died, when his soul exited his body, the point at which that happened, the officer had to feel that, right? He felt his body go limp, and yet he kept his knee in that dude's neck just to be sure. So if you can't stand in opposition to that with symbolism, right? The taking the knee symbolizes your opposition to that. I wish everyone would do it on the basis of that, and not find. I found Leclerc's excuse to be shallow at best, and I choose to stand against racism. The actions speak much louder than words. That visual image, of course, doesn't end racism, but at least presents an image in opposition to it that kids can see, that the world can see, and it might, I think, go a long way towards changing hearts and minds.
If nothing else, just showing that you're united, right? And did you hear the announcers before the race? Yeah, they said when they cut away from the image of drivers taking a knee, one of the announcers said, "I wish we could go back to that because I don't understand why we couldn't get it right this time and have everybody united and making the same, giving the same message." And I just don't understand that. I don't understand why you can't be united and just make a gesture together that supports the common cause. I don't understand.
I don't understand how someone wants equality for everyone. When someone makes that statement, I want equality for everyone, how can they be bashed? You know, how can someone speak against that is beyond me. But, you know, I think we understand that people that feel a certain way about things don't tend to react rationally to things, right? So, all right, man. I guess we'll go ahead and leave it at that.
Yeah.